Yo, what's up guys? Nash here. Welcome to Film School Recap, the show where I go to film school and tell you what I learned. And in today's video, we got a little something different for you guys. So as you may have noticed, I didn't post a video last week, and it's not because I hate you guys or I'm just ignoring you. It's actually because we're working on idea generation and screenwriting for our thesis short 20-minute film and our feature film. Our short film is going to be filmed next year, but both of our scripts are due this year. So, and I was like, you know what? I'm working on writing this film. I may as well show you guys what I'm doing. Bang! Why don't I make a mini series that kind of covers what I'm doing as I'm doing it while I'm writing this short film? Boom! So, without any further ado, this is how to write a screenplay for a short film. Now, I'm not gonna pack it all into one video because that would just be ridiculous. It'll be like 3 hours long. I don't wanna stand here for 3 hours. You don't wanna sit there for 3 hours.
3 hours later.
So yeah, before we get started, I do wanna clarify, I am not by any means an authority or a professional at screenwriting. I've never written a feature film. I've never written a short film that's gone to Cannes or Sundance. I'm just a guy that has written short films for YouTube and that has seen progress in my filmmaking. So that's my goal, to help you guys learn how to do that. Let's go. Tip number 1, write what you know. This is literally the easiest thing I could tell you guys. If you know, say football, you played football in high school, maybe you watch football all the time, write a football movie because that's what you know and you have experience with it and you know the lingo. If you were a dancer or you like dance, write a dance movie. I'm not gonna go out there and write Braveheart because I don't know much about Scottish and Irish warfare and William Wallace. It's cool, but I don't know much about it. So I'm not gonna go out there and write it because it will just be too difficult. Number 2, try to come up with some kind of absurd, weird, awkward kind of situation. Something that would just be off the wall and crazy.
Somebody crazy!
Your fridge, right? It comes alive and it's kind of a battle between the freezer and the fridge. They're on top of each other. They kind of fight over the size that they are because you know how the freezers are always kind of smaller than the fridge. Boom! But on a more practical level, like a real example, think of Spider-Man. You got a spider, goes out and bites a guy, right? And the guy becomes this sort of spider mutant character that goes out and saves the world. Any Marvel, any DC, any superhero movie is just like that. It's usually pretty absurd. Number 3, go out and watch movies, watch short films, read books, listen to music. These are all things that are creative and inspire creativity when you listen or watch them or read them. A ritual that I always do before I write a screenplay is I usually watch 2 short films that are in the same genre, and I watch a feature film that's in the same genre as what I want to write. And then as I'm actually writing it and coming up with ideas, I listen to a soundtrack from a movie that is in a similar genre to kind of give you the feel. So if you're writing a horror film, then listen to music from Saw. It just gets you in the mood to start writing, and it's a little bit easier to get the creative juices flowing. Number 4, get out a paper and a pen, not an iPad, not a tablet, not a computer, and start writing every random word that comes to mind. Time yourself for 3 to 5 minutes and just go. Don't judge yourself. Don't let others judge you. If it's weird, if it's strange, write it anyways, because the point of this exercise is to get past the conscious thinking of trying to make a story, because whenever you think of trying to make a story, it makes it so much more difficult. If you stop thinking and just write from your heart and what you feel, it makes it so much easier. So if you can get past that thinking through writing random words and not thinking about it, it makes it a lot easier. Once you're done, take a 15-second break, step back, and look at it. See if you can make a connection between words. Is there a connection? Maybe there's not. But a word might inspire an idea that inspires another idea that inspires another one that creates a feature film that you know is a box office hit. I'm not saying that you're gonna make a box office hit, but that's how this stuff kind of gets started. Now, when I did this exercise, I found that most of the words that I did had to do with the beach. And I haven't been to the beach in 3 months. I don't even think about the beach. But it just happened that all the words were things like sand, water, floaties, martinis, bikinis, stuff like that has to do with the beach. Did I write a story about the beach? No, but inspired ideas for other things that are similar. Number 5, think of a room. It could be something familiar. Maybe it's from a movie. Maybe it's from a good experience you had as a kid. Maybe it's a bad experience you've had. Just think of that room and describe it in every way possible. Time yourself for 2 to 3 minutes. Use all 5 senses: taste, smell, touch, feel, hear, yeah, I did pass first grade, you know, no big deal. And describe that room. So as an example, maybe your grandmother's house. What does it smell like? Does it smell like cookies? Maybe it's musty. Maybe it smells like lavender air freshener. What does it feel like? Are the walls smooth? Do they have wallpaper on them? What does it sound like? Is there music playing? Is it, you know, quiet? Are there dogs barking? I think you get the idea, but you want to describe exactly what this place looks like. And once you have the location, then you can start to introduce a character. Is it a boy or a girl? Use the 5 senses to describe them, just a person. And once you have that location, you have that character, then start introducing them to random situations. And they don't even have to make sense. Write down a bunch of random situations on a paper beforehand, and then start inserting those random situations into the character and the location that you have. For an example, so you got your location, your character, a fire hydrant in the middle of the room, blast off. What happens? What does the character do? How does he react? There's a window in the back of the room. He jumps out of it. What does he land on? Is it fluffy flowers? Is it a horse steered by the princess of the universe? Is it the hard concrete where he breaks his neck and goes to the hospital? What is it? That kind of thing. Just introduce your character to a bunch of different situations and see how he reacts. Now, don't think about this. Just start writing. Don't even pause. Don't erase. Don't do anything. Just start writing. The idea is to get ideas flowing. And then once you get them flowing, then you can start actually structuring the story, which we'll talk about in a later episode later on when we talk about that. Number 6, take notes on life. I don't know how many times I've met a person or gone to a location or seen some sort of movie or place or situation that happened where I'm like, wow, that would be a sweet movie. And then I don't write it down, and then I forget it and it's lost forever. And you've probably done the same thing. So the easiest way to not do that is to literally just take notes on what you found out that day. A person, describe the person. Use the 5 senses like we did in the last exercise and just describe that person. So you have 2 options. Either you can actually take a notebook, like a literal notebook, and carry it around. Personally, I don't like doing that because you actually have to carry that around. Or you could just take out your phone. They have this handy little notes app, and you could just, you know, start typing away on your phone the idea that you have. Then you have, check that out. You got all kinds of different notes there, and just keep a continuous list that keeps going. I've had this list for, I don't know, probably 2 years now of just random ideas that I come across in everyday life. Have I made them all into scripts? No, but it makes for cool stories. The point here is, I guess this is number 7, but it's kind of number 6. Live life. Constantly be looking for stories throughout life. Actually, you don't even need to look for stories. Stories happen all around us. Life is a story. And the more you live, the more experiences you go on, the more you have to write about. So go out and experience life, and you will be more inspired to write great stories. Boom! So yeah, I hope you guys liked it. If you want, go ahead and subscribe and like this video. Like I said, it's going to be a multi-part series, meaning that there's multiple other videos coming out soon. Not sure when, but in the near future, probably next week. Also, you can check me out on the Facebook, the Twitters, the Instagram, all in the description below if you're interested. Other than that, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you learned a lot. Peace out, and I'll see y'all in another video.